My name is Christian Francesco Puglisi, and I am live in Copenhagen, where I'm a chef and a restaurateur. I have 4 restaurants called Relais Manfred's, based in Mirabel. I think the work that I do on a daily basis is based on understanding what I have around myself. So it's very much connected to what I do. It's working with local produce in many ways. It's also working with local people. It's also working with people that come from other places to the space. So I feel very connected with what I have around me, and I'm also inspired by what I have around me. So there's a close connection to that. When I started to open my own restaurant and trying to make my own way of doing things, it was at the height of the new Nordic moment, and for me it was very important not to try and apply to some geographic idea, because I really think it makes sense, particularly not with gastronomy. I think when we work with something local, it's because it makes sense, as in local produce that does not travel very well and really gives us a high quality when it's close, and still I believe that the influences from other places, particularly my own background, being born in Italy and having that as a heritage, to bring that and mix it up with what makes sense locally. I think it's a big part of gastronomy, and it's a big cultural part of gastronomy. I think gastronomy has very much been based on immigration and people moving around and bringing what they know from somewhere to somewhere else and applying it to that. So I think that's a very fascinating part of what we do. Well, for me, traditional food has been an act of someone working creatively at one point, because tradition must be based on something really good. That's why it stays for a long time. And when you work creatively, sometimes you discover new things that might end up being new classics. So the point is that I think tradition and creativity is really the same things, but in different times of the process. I think memory has a big role to play, because when you work with food, it's very obvious that the flavors and smells is something that are really something that sticks close to you. I have myself very, very fond memories that are connected to food. It's really something that can really store in your brain for many, many years. So it's obvious that you can hit someone on a particular note if they pick up something that brings them somewhere else, particularly to childhood or having a great experience with something. I think also that's why food becomes so memorable, that when you went and had a great experience, sometimes, not necessarily in a restaurant, but in some setting, then often you can remember the food, because it's sort of a good way to connect your body with your mind in that sense. Well, the Italian tradition or the Mediterranean cooking is actually not very far from the Nordic region or the newer Nordic way of doing things, because it's really in the same sense a light kitchen. It's very focused on vegetables. It's quite fresh, and for me, when starting off the restaurant, coming from this new Nordic moment, it made very much sense to start using some of the produce that would be more Mediterranean, so lemons and anchovies and